Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up because what I'm about to share will challenge everything you think you know about love, marriage, and finding the woman who will truly see you. If you've ever felt like love is a game you're losing, or wondered why the right connection never seems to stick, listen closely. I've been through decades of relationships, heartbreaks, and moments where I thought the door to real, lasting partnership was closed forever. And there's one brutal truth that almost no one tells you. Marriage isn't about love the way movies or social media portray it. It's about understanding, timing, and the silent choices you make that either build a bond or quietly destroy it. Most men focus on the wrong things. You polish your career, your car, your image, but fail to see the deeper emotional signals that women are unconsciously giving. Women notice patterns, not perfection. They see hesitation, inconsistency, and emotional unavailability long before you even realize it yourself. The first painful realization I had, and I wish someone had warned me, is that the quality of a marriage often begins long before the wedding ring is even considered. It starts with the emotional depth you can sustain, the honesty you show, and the patience you cultivate, qualities that rarely feel urgent in the early stages, but they are the invisible pillars of a lasting union. Here's another uncomfortable truth. If you keep repeating the same dating mistakes, your odds don't just stay the same, they get worse. Attraction fades when it's treated like a checklist or a conquest. Women, especially those serious about long-term commitment, can sense when a man is playing a role instead of revealing his true self. And the irony? Vulnerability is the key. Being open about your flaws, your fears, your regrets. That's the magnetic force most men overlook. I know it's hard to admit, but too many men sabotage their own happiness because they chase what looks good instead of what feels real. And here's what I wish I'd known. A marriage that lasts is built on understanding the unspoken dynamics of human behavior. It's not flashy, it's not immediate, and it won't ever come from pretending to be someone you're not. The deeper you understand yourself, the clearer your path to finding someone who truly complements you becomes. By the end of this video, you'll see marriage not as a dream to chase, but as a skill to master. And trust me, it's a skill that most men never even realize they're missing. Most men don't realize how much their past silently shapes their future relationships. Every unresolved argument, every betrayal you witnessed, every time you hid your emotions, those moments live in your subconscious. They don't disappear just because you want a fresh start. I've seen men in their 50s and 60s still unknowingly repeating the same patterns they carried from their first heartbreak. And here's the truth. Unless you face those shadows, marriage will feel like a trap, not a home. It's terrifying to admit, but many men enter marriage hoping to be fixed, hoping their partner will fill the gaps they refuse to acknowledge themselves. And that's where the pain begins. No one can complete you if you don't know yourself. You think women want a perfect provider, a flawless partner, but what they really want is a man who understands the complexity of his own mind, a man who can sit with discomfort, communicate clearly, and remain steady when life's storms hit. Stability, honesty, and emotional availability outweigh wealth, looks, or charm every single time. Another secret most men never hear. Attraction is built in layers, and emotional security is the deepest layer. If you can't manage your own emotions, if you're quick to anger or slow to apologize, the connection will erode before the vows are even spoken. Women are not looking for someone to impress. They are looking for someone they can rely on. Someone who makes them feel seen, safe, and understood. That doesn't mean you become perfect. It means you learn the language of your own heart and can express it without fear. And here's the part that cuts the deepest. Many men only see marriage as a reward for their success or their looks, when in reality, marriage is earned through consistent courage, patience, and self-awareness. It's quiet. It's invisible. It's in the small moments where you choose understanding over ego, connection over convenience, empathy over pride. The men who master this aren't necessarily the ones with the most dates or the most money. They're the ones who learn to navigate themselves first. I wish I'd known sooner that the single greatest predictor of a lasting marriage isn't chemistry, it's clarity. Clarity about who you are, what you truly want, and what you're willing to give without expectation. Most men skip this step, and the result is heartbreak that could have been avoided. Your relationships will never exceed the limits you place on your own self-awareness. That is the truth no one tells you, yet it is the truth every man must face if he wants a love that lasts. Let's talk about the invisible mistakes that quietly destroy a man's chances at a fulfilling marriage. Most men have no idea how often they self-sabotage without even realizing it. It's not about being unkind or dishonest. It's the little patterns, the habits, the unspoken behaviors that women notice immediately. A harsh word left unsaid, a promise ignored, a moment of emotional withdrawal. These are the cracks that widen over time. And the frightening part, you may think you're doing nothing wrong, yet these cracks are enough to make her doubt the foundation of your entire relationship. Too many men confuse attention for intimacy. They assume that taking her out, buying gifts, or showing up physically is enough to secure love. But here's the truth. Women crave emotional presence far more than material gestures. She wants a man who can listen without offering solutions, who can hold space without judgment, who can be fully present even when the conversation is uncomfortable. When you fail to show up emotionally, she notices every withdrawal, every hesitation, every subtle sign that you are protecting yourself more than nurturing the bond. Another mistake men make is thinking consistency is optional. Passion is fleeting. Commitment is earned daily. Women are wired to notice patterns, not promises. It's the man who remembers small details, who follows through on his word, who responds with patience instead of irritation. He is the man who quietly builds trust that lasts decades. And let's be honest, consistency is harder than charm. It requires humility, effort, and a willingness to put her needs and emotional safety above the ego-driven desire to always be right or in control. There's also the dangerous trap of misreading silence as comfort. When she withdraws, men often panic, assume rejection, or worse, escalate with anger. But women pull away not out of punishment. They pull away when the emotional environment feels unsafe or unbalanced. The key is not to chase or fix, but to reflect, adjust, and communicate with clarity. Emotional intelligence is not optional. It is survival for a lasting marriage. And finally, most men underestimate the weight of authenticity. Pretending to be someone you're not, acting stronger, calmer, or more confident than you feel, is a short-term tactic that erodes connection long before marriage. Real intimacy is earned through truth, vulnerability, and the courage to reveal your inner world without fear. Women can sense pretense immediately, and no amount of charm will hide it. The harsh truth is this: a lasting marriage doesn't reward cleverness or charm. It rewards self-mastery, empathy, and relentless awareness of how your smallest actions ripple through the relationship. Understanding these hidden dynamics isn't optional, it's essential. Now let's talk about mindset, the invisible architecture of every successful, lasting marriage. Most men never realize that their internal dialogue dictates their external reality. If you constantly doubt your worth, second-guess your intentions, or believe that love is scarce, women will feel it before you even speak. Attraction is not just physical, it's the projection of self-respect, confidence, and emotional stability. A man who carries himself with quiet certainty, who knows what he will and won't tolerate, suddenly becomes magnetic, not because of money or looks, but because he communicates security on a level that words can't touch. Here's a truth most men resist. The woman you want will mirror the emotional energy you give. If you're anxious, controlling, or needy, she will pull away. If you're calm, empathetic, and self-aware, she will draw closer. It's simple psychology, yet it escapes most men. The more you master your own mind, the more naturally the right woman will respond. This is why self-improvement matters, not for ego, not for status, but for creating the emotional environment where deep love can flourish. Another shift few men understand is the power of selective vulnerability. Men are often taught to hide fear, insecurity, or weakness. But in relationships, hiding these feelings erodes intimacy. Sharing them, carefully, honestly, and with courage, signals trust and invites trust in return. Women are not looking for flawless armor. They are searching for someone strong enough to be real, patient enough to listen, and brave enough to show up even when it's uncomfortable. Vulnerability, wielded wisely, is the single most powerful form of attraction. Control is another hidden trap. Men believe that steering every conversation, every decision, and every moment of life demonstrates strength. In reality, dominance pushes her away. Emotional partnership, shared decision-making, mutual respect, and openness create safety and deep connection. You cannot build a marriage by controlling her. You build it by mastering your own impulses, acknowledging your mistakes, and consistently choosing respect over ego. Finally, understand the silent rhythm of timing. Women evaluate potential long before you do. They notice how you react under stress, how you communicate when life is hard, how you invest in your personal growth. These subtle signals matter more than flashy displays or grand gestures. A man who understands timing, who learns to pause, reflect, and act intentionally, suddenly becomes irreplaceable. The harsh reality is this: you are either building a foundation for lasting love every day, or you're unknowingly dismantling it. The difference is mindset, self-mastery, and emotional presence. Master these, and you transform not just your marriage prospects, but your entire experience of love. Let's get brutally honest about how women choose the men they marry. Most men think it's about charm, looks, or success, but that's a surface-level illusion. The reality is far more subtle, far more powerful, and most men are blind to it. Women are drawn to emotional architecture, the way a man handles himself under pressure, how he communicates without defensiveness, and the depth of his consistency over time. These are invisible signals, but they carry more weight than any first impression, any flashy date, or any expensive gift. Here's the first truth: reliability is magnetic. Women want a man whose actions match his words, whose promises are not negotiable, and whose presence is unwavering even when life throws curveballs. This is not the man who shows up perfectly on Instagram. It's the man who shows up perfectly when it matters, day after day. When you cultivate reliability, you become someone she can anchor to, someone whose presence feels like safety and stability, not drama or uncertainty. Second truth: emotional curiosity beats physical attraction every single time. Women notice when a man genuinely wants to understand her mind, her experiences, and her fears. The man who listens, who asks questions without judgment, who remembers the little details she casually shares. He becomes unforgettable. This is subtle, yet it eclipses superficial charm. Women marry men who make them feel seen on a deeper level, men who create a sense of alignment in the chaos of life. Next, understand the power of restraint. Many men overinvest too early. They try to fix, impress, or overwhelm with intensity. Women are not won through force. They are drawn through patience, strategic presence, and emotional regulation. The man who knows when to step forward, when to pull back, and when to let connection grow naturally becomes irresistible. Restraint is not hesitation. It's control over impulse, and it signals maturity and emotional intelligence. Finally, I need you to realize this: women marry men they trust, but trust is earned through repetitive, consistent acts of integrity and honesty. It's the man who navigates conflict without aggression, who communicates without manipulation, who adapts without losing his values. He is the man who becomes irreplaceable, and the painful truth is that most men ignore this for years, chasing appearances while real intimacy slips quietly away. Master these dynamics, and you shift from being just another option to the man she can't imagine life without. You stop chasing love, and instead, love begins to naturally choose you. This is the difference between fleeting relationships and a marriage that lasts decades, a difference most men never fully comprehend until it's too late. Now let's close this with the reality that most men never hear. Marriage isn't found, it's built. It's built in the quiet moments you choose patience over pride, clarity over confusion, and self-mastery over impulse. Every habit, every choice, every word you speak adds weight to your foundation, or slowly erodes it. If you want a marriage that lasts, you must understand that love is not a feeling you stumble into. It's a skill you cultivate over decades, and the sooner you start, the better your life will be. The first step is radical self-awareness. Understand who you are, what patterns you repeat, and where your insecurities secretly influence your behavior. Men often avoid this because it's uncomfortable, but marriage punishes avoidance. If you can't face your own flaws, no relationship can withstand them. Take the time to map your emotions, your triggers, and your deepest desires. When you truly know yourself, you stop projecting your fears onto the person you love and instead create space for genuine connection. Next, master emotional presence. Learn to listen without judgment, respond without defensiveness, and stay grounded when life challenges your bond. Women do not need perfection. They need consistency, honesty, and the courage to be emotionally available. This is what separates men who marry successfully from those who are left wondering what went wrong. The small daily decisions, holding your tongue, showing empathy, expressing appreciation, compound over time into unshakable trust and connection. Develop patience and restraint. Men often rush to prove themselves, to fix, to impress, but true attraction grows in the soil of patience. Let connection unfold naturally. Learn to balance desire with composure. Be steady in conflict, slow to anger, and deliberate in your actions. Women sense desperation as clearly as they sense authenticity, and only authenticity sustains a lifelong bond. Finally, commit to continual growth. Marriage is not a destination. It is a living, breathing entity that requires evolution. Strengthen your mind, cultivate empathy, and refine your understanding of female psychology. Be a man who adapts without compromising values, who learns without ego, and who gives without expectation. When you embody this, you stop chasing love, and love begins to flow toward you effortlessly. Here's the hardest truth. If you ignore these principles, marriage will feel like a burden, not a joy. But if you embrace them, the woman you choose, the love you cultivate, and the life you build together can become something profound, something that lasts not for years, but for decades. You now have the blueprint. Use it wisely, or watch time slip by while opportunities for lasting love pass quietly.